I am so mad at Instagram right now. What happened? What happened? Why did Instagram restart my live? I think we're back. It seems that we're all back. I see 58 of us. Damn technology. Something went wrong there, and now the entire live was deleted. I'm very upset, and I apologize. That was most likely, definitely my fault, and I apologize. So, in cold blood, I'm just going to dive right back in. In cold blood, so you want to talk about race. Now let's go back to 2021. We will be reading first year in the books, The Fire Next Time by James Baldwin. I promised you guys we were going to read that. It's a continuation. Also, I want So You Want to Talk About Race to be the last book before we all go home for Christmas and talk to our families. And I think it lost connection, paused it, and then it just quit out of live. So, we'll go back. In cold blood. So You Want to Talk About Race. New Year's, Christmas. The Fire Next Time by James Baldwin. Then we will read 1,000 Splendid Suns. It's a book that people have asked me to read. It's a book that I am very excited to read. I know both of my parents read it. I think it's Khalid Hosseini. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. I apologize for not looking it up beforehand. That is my fault. I will do that next time for sure. But yes, we will be reading. Now let's go 2021. We start with The Fire Next Time, 1,000 Splendid Suns. And because 1,000 kind of was in the mind, after that we're going to read 1,000 Years of Solitude by Gabriel Garcia Marquez. Gabriel Garcia Marquez. So, we have our next 5 books. In Cold Blood by Truman Capote. So You Want to Talk About Race by Joma Olo. The Fire Next Time by James Baldwin. 1,000 Splendid Suns by Khalid Hosseini. If I'm pronouncing that wrong, again, I apologize. And then 1,000 Splendid Suns by Gabriel Garcia Marquez. So those are our next 5 books. I chose 1,000 Splendid Suns one because we haven't read a lot of Latin American literature, and we are going to change that. 2, it's a must-read book before you die. It's on every list, and I'm ashamed I haven't read it. And 3, they say it's the beginning of this whole genre of magical realism, which as a Colombian, I'm very, very excited about. So, I will post all of the books at some point today or tomorrow. So don't get mad if it doesn't happen today. I will post all of these books. We will continue this. So before we go, we still have some time now. Any questions? When are we going to read The Library at Mount Char together? Possibly after that. It's just I know I've mentioned that book a few times because I'm obsessed with it. Obsessed. But the few books before that I feel were more important in the sense of like what I wanted us to end the year with and then begin the year with. You guys know I think about that when we're reading. I think about what book will help us most, and I think for the conversations I intend on, maybe not on having, but on being prepared for, I think So You Want to Talk About Race would be really great to just solidify a little bit of our vocabulary, and then also further foray into the forest, like I said. And then same thing with So You Want to, for The Fire Next Time, to give us a new perspective going into the new year. And I'm very excited to read Cien Años de Soledad. That's going to be really dope. Any other reading suggestions are welcome. Well, if anyone's looking to read some sort of philosophy and something that's been occupying my mind a lot lately, I would recommend Marcus Aurelius's Meditations. that one is just a really cool book that gives a lot of practical wisdom that you'll see that I kind of share a lot. A lot of the authors and artists, leaders that I like tend to affiliate with this philosophical ideology. Hey, good stuff, Davina. Any historical fiction? Yes. I haven't read it, but I purchased it, and it's in my... Ooh, actually, you know what? Maybe I'll keep that silent, because I might put that on the list. It's a series. You know, I'll just tell you, the same person about whom I spoke that wrote me something that I used as an example here, I gave away. He also recommended the book I, Claudius, as a historical fiction. So if that's something you're interested in, I haven't read it yet, so I can't verify it personally, but I trust this man tremendously. He's one of my best friends. So yeah, I, Claudius, I heard is really great. Also, yes, Annie Hansen's right. The Tattooist of Auschwitz is just beautiful. It's a beautiful, beautiful book. I read it in one sitting. Yeah. So, thank you, everyone, for continuing this conversation. Thank you all for being here. Also, I just want to say, at a lot of the conventions that we've had, the virtual ones, a lot of you have thanked me and thanked the community. So I just want all of you to know that all of you are just as happy for the community you've all created. I don't know if you guys often tell each other that or not, but since I'm the one that hears it, I want you guys to know all of you actively make this book club a very positive, wonderful place for learning, growth, and questioning. And I think all of you need to take that responsibility on and recognize, like, oh, cool, we're doing something cool here. And you are all actively a part of that. It's not just me, and it's not just some members, all of us. So you guys should all take a moment and just be proud of yourselves. Like, be proud of this community that we've all worked so hard to build. It's, like I've always said, community is incredibly important. And I think you guys need to recognize that despite all obstacles, space, time, world, we've managed to meet here, maybe not as consistently, but consistently for a few years now, in the hopes that we learn a little bit, grow a little bit, question a little bit, and I think that's really great. So I want you to all thank each other instead of me. I'm just here. I really do think you guys need to take a little bit more responsibility for the amazing community you've helped make. If I was just here talking to live by myself, probably wouldn't have gone on for 3 years. If I wasn't inspired to keep reading because of how many people join and make me think and question things, I probably would have stopped too. So this is all for you. You guys all really keep this going. And as much a part that you think I have in it, I want you to know that you all have an equal part. So I really do feel honored to be part of this community. So thank you. And lastly, I have always been a proponent for the ability to make your own decisions when it comes to who you decide to vote for. And I've always been a proponent for education, science, learning, growth, understanding, empathy, anything that's essentially not the stock market. And I hope that when you do go to the ballot box, for those of you that are American or have American citizenship and can vote in America, I hope that the things we've discussed and talked about influence your ideas and opinions in a positive way, not just for yourself, but for your community and the world as a whole. So I hope that regardless of what you believe or whether or not you agree with me, I know that I would say most of us do, but just in case, I don't want anyone to feel ostracized or pushed out because they don't agree with me politically, but I do want to advocate that everyone goes out there and votes. Please register to vote. If you are in the Latinx community, as I am, you recognize that this year we have a tremendous opportunity to make a giant impact and have the rest of the country recognize that we are the biggest minority group voting. This year, we have 32 million newly eligible Latinx voters, and only half of us are registered to vote. I made a point with this earlier with Voto Latino, so I really want anyone that knows anyone in the States, you can never force someone to vote for who you want. But what you can say is, hi, I hope that you are registered to vote. I hope that you recognize a lot of the ideals and opinions expressed by one party are based on the oppression of other people. Therefore, I hope that when you make your choice, you advocate for the people whose voices often go unheard. I hope that you advocate for the betterment of all people, not just for your own bank account or your family's wealth. I hope, I've had to do this with a couple of people. So remember, we can't, like she says in that book, use chapter 9 and how you have to approach people, how you have to talk to people. All of these things, unfortunately, these are rules that we try to break, but also we have to play by sometimes to achieve the goal. Anyway, please vote. Please register to vote. This election is extremely important. You'll see me posting more race resources and whatnot as we get closer. But for all of you that are American and are eligible to vote, meaning you are of age 18 in many states without any prior convictions or felonies, which is also that's something we need to work on. But if you are eligible to vote, please vote. Your voice needs to be heard. As you all know, I feel that about everyone all the time. Your voice needs to be heard. So there's that. Jules, thank you, Alberto, for starting this book club. It's been the highlight of my week. I've learned so much, and I've finally seen how important education is. Thank you. Without education, we can never get better. So, thank you guys for being here. Continue to vote, and as I say every week, please continue to question. Continue to learn. Continue to grow. Continue to be kind. Continue to be open. Continue that attempt at recognizing another person's perspective before your own. And continue to be positive forces of change in your communities. The world needs you now more than ever. So thank you guys. I will see you in a little bit. I'll post those books and I'll talk about our season 4 start. That's kind of exciting. I'll talk about that soon. All right, guys. Have a safe little break. Please be reading on your own. If you don't know what to read the newspapers. read as much as you can. Find a book, a play. I don't care. Keep reading. Keep that up. Find stuff that you want to read. And then bring that to the book club next week. Not next week, when we do talk. Gosh, see, it's already there. It's already coming back. All right, guys. Have a great breath. I will talk to you soon.